ComicGains. Ah! And if you're new to the show, I'm Adam.
I'm Zach, and this is Princess Royal House, looking very lovely today, just like usual. Do that princess wave. You do it too. Bow down, respect, and there's a Coco.
There she is.
It's a Coco.
She's all furry and ready for winter. All right, guys. Woo! We got a special show for you today. A first for ComicGains, I think. I don't think we've actually ever reviewed a movie before, but we thought it'd be fun since we saw The Marvels on Sunday night. So we'll see if it's still fresh in our minds to talk about. And we thought we'd share some of our feelings and thoughts. So give you a layout for the show. We're still going to talk about New Comic Book Day first, like we always do. Talk about the new books coming out, the stories that we like, and then we'll give you a quick, non-spoiler review. And then we'll give you guys a warning, and then we'll get into some points that we liked or disliked, depending on. And Princess will give you an actual score out of 5 stars, how she feels about the movie. So, and then Coco was not there, so she won't have a review. But that's how it goes, right?
Yeah, that's how it goes.
All right. But before we do any of that, we gotta get right.
Yeah, I'm a little thirsty.
In the head.
So, Seattle Best. Apparently, Starbucks. We got here a cold brew crafted, made with cold brew. It said it twice, with a splash of milk and vanilla.
Does it say Seattle's Best?
No,
that's a company called Seattle's Best Coffee.
Yeah, but this is the real Seattle's Best. Seattle's Best is a lie.
I don't even know if Seattle's Best around anymore. Mm-hmm. Is it? I know it was always at the airport, but then I never All right, let me say hi to all of our friends out there in the comic book universe. Las Cruces is first of the show from New Mexico. How's it going, buddy? Woo! Jeff Coy is here as well, from Ohio. Hey, Jeff Coy. Oh, he says his favorite comic book show. Thank you. Ooh, we got Stig Papa in the house as well. Welcome in, Stig Papa. And Nelvis Eats as well. Both of you guys always hang out with us on Whatnot as well. And Ciro's here too. He does as well. Also. Oh, Phil is in the house. How's it going, hey, Phil? Welcome in. Joe W. How's it going, buddy? Welcome in. Steve Sayer is here as well. Milt Miller in the house. Jimmy G is back and waving as always. Hey. Larry Green is here. How's it going, Larry?
How's it going?
And George Tucker. Ooh, George Tucker made it out. Good to see you, George. Gen X is here as well from the Flex Fam. Flex Fam. And Bobby is here, cheersing Zach. Says, cheers, Zach. Cheers it up. Oh, you're almost halfway done.
Oh.
Was it good?
That's pretty good.
Is it different than the Frap? The Frappuccino?
It's way different than the Frap.
Better or worse?
The Frap's way better. It's Pal's full of sugar.
Yeah, it's like pure sugar.
It's like pure sugar. It's like 99% sugar.
Oh, Captain, my captain says cheers as well. Yeah, we have to wait until drinking day is tomorrow. We might go, we might have beer tomorrow, right? All right.
Like that. Zigga, oi, oi, oi. You know the man show that.
And you just chug it?
Yeah.
And you just Nuktuck, how's it going? Nuktuck in the house as well. All right, guys. So, New Comic Book Day today. About $50 worth of books here. We'll see. I think, it's a little bit of mixture, a little bit of everything. So, we'll kick it off. We've got Ghost Rider issue number 20.
Ron Espinosa.
And this is the written by Percy. So I'm loving Ghost Rider. I know it seems like a lot of people are liking it. It's still going on for a while. It's all the way up to issue 20, but they're doing a lot of extra backstory on Talia Warroad. She's the girl there on the cover. She's kind of met up with him early on in the series. They've been traveling around together. She started out as a special FBI agent that investigated paranormal stuff, and then she was kind of screw the FBI. I'm just gonna have sex with Ghost Rider in his human form. I don't think they ever did it with the Ghost Rider head on.
Fire crotch.
But she also has powers too. She's kind of sort of like a Wiccan or a witch, and very, very cool character. So I think people are really enjoying her. And so now they're let's give her a nice origin and backstory that has to deal with Mephisto and stuff like that. Her first appearance has not been on anybody's radar. So I would think she's already made it through at least 15, maybe even more issues than that. Might be a good time to look at that character. So I'm loving it.
Yum.
Ooh, Mel wants to know who picked the Mantle books.
Me.
Yep, they are Zach. Zach picked the Mantle books. Woo! All right, and next up we got Blade issue number 5. came out this week. I'm really, really enjoying this series a lot. Just kind of started. I haven't really read that much Blade before. Was able, or at least able to get into it. He accidentally released some sort of like ancient god that he thought he was helping, and then he released, and then he basically got rid of the only sword that could like kill that god that's evil. So now he's been kind of on this mission to find a new weapon that can kill it, and he's basically got two different girls he's tagging along with. One that he used to sleep with, that's kind of hot, and then he has a new girl that's sort of like he's training her, teaching her stuff. And then Doctor Strange just showed up, so now they're on the way to killing this big bad. But it's really well written. It's not my favorite artwork overall for like the interiors. Like sometimes it looks good, sometimes it looks okay. The covers have been kind of lame though. Yeah. I'm not really digging any of the covers for the Blade. So
the artwork can be forgiven if the story is good enough, but if the story and artwork is not good, it is unforgivable.
Oh, I think Kamala picked the back wall. That's what Lon said. Joe W says he only picked up 2 books: Superior Spider-Man and Spine-Tingling Spider-Man. Oh, yeah, we definitely got one of those. I should have got the Spine-Tingling Spider-Man because I wasn't sure if I was going to like a story that wasn't in continuity, and I read the first book and it was actually really good, so that I didn't think to pick up the second one. Woo! And Milt says Blade sounds complicated. It's good, Milt. You should try it if you're a Blade fan. And Geek Pin's in the house. Whoop, whoop. All right. So this came out, and this one looks really cool. So there is The Deviant, which is by James Tynion IV. That came out, so it's a Christmas special book. And the cover is very reminiscent of Something's Killing the Children, isn't it?
Yeah, very.
So it's done by Image, and it has to do with basically like this bloodied Santa that got arrested. I can't remember, like 20 or 40 years ago or something like that, and he was like been in jail for murder. And now like on the anniversary of the murders on Christmas, now something's like come back up where like, did he really do it or didn't he do it? I've heard really good things about it, so did figure we'd pick it up. It's, you know, 'tis the season. It'd be kind of cool if it all wrapped up around the time Christmas was. I don't know if it's 5 books or 4 books or 3 books, but you never know. The Vigil. So I did get some DC books. So The Vigil, what I've been reading, I just kind of picked this one out of the blue and decided to go for it. I like Rom V sometimes, and I thought it was cool because it's like a whole new team, a whole bunch of first appearances. This, I think, is the last book. So there's 6 books in the series. They were a little complicated in the beginning, and it was kind of the more I read it, I understood what was going on. But they kind of like introduced the team, and then they kind of go on this mission, and the characters kind of look similar, so it's kind of confusing which character was which. And then the more you read it, you kind of differentiate which character is which, and they explain some more like that there's like a guy that put the team together, and then they kind of give each character their own origin backstory. It's a decent story. I think if they use the character somewhere on later on down the road, I think it's a good idea to have like a book that has like 5 first appearances in it. But it's also DC, so sometimes that means nothing, right? But somehow we got the variant cover for issue 6, so I'm excited about that. This book, however, has been really good and much better. I actually dropped the regular Avengers, and I'm just reading Uncanny Avengers now. So you got Uncanny Avengers issue number 4, and it's also very tied into the Fall of X. So you're getting a lot of like Captain Krakoa and things like that. But basically, Captain America put together, and they've done this before. He did like an Uncanny Avengers where basically took half X-Men, half Avengers, put together a team. I think it's something silly like the Freedom Force United team. It has like a really goofy name, and he has Deadpool on the team and Rogue.
Wait. Did you say Freedom Force Alliance, or did you say...
maybe it's Freedom Force Alliance. Is that what it is?
You said
United Team or something?
I thought it was like, to me, it sounded like FU.
Oh, good night, George Tucker. No.
Good night, George Tucker.
Maybe.
FU!
I can't remember, but like they say in the name, like, we need a new name.
Freedom United.
And I couldn't pick a new name, so like, we'll just stick with it. But it's really good. There's basically like they did this mission and they kind of failed, and everyone was like blaming Cap, and so like we need a new leader. So then Rogue's like, I'll be the leader. But there's some really cool dynamics, and then like having like I think Monet St. Croix's on the team. She's really cool and interesting, in Deadpool. So I like seeing Deadpool and Cap like together, and the book's really well written. So and I'm not really reading all the X-Men books, so it's nice to get a little taste of what's going on during the Fall of X, coming to the end of Krakoa. So Oh, we got. Dang, I swear this is coming out all the time now. Walking Dead Deluxe issue 77.
Jeez.
Just came out, and as you guys know, I'm rereading Walking Dead Deluxe. I am caught up, so I'm onto this issue here. I think that's Maggie, like putting on like her clothes back on or something. Someone's peeping on her through the window. But yeah, the further the book gets along, the kind of the more it gets away from the show. They use like tidbits of the show, but the show's like a lot different than this. So they're in that town where there's like the high walls and everything's going kind of smooth, but then like Rick's kind of going a little crazy, like I need to take over this town because they're a bunch of weaklings and they're gonna screw it up. And like it's not like which characters are still alive from the show is like kind of different than which characters in the book, but it's really good. It's really I mean obviously Robert Kirkman's a really good writer, so it's easy to follow along. It's a super fast read too. Like whenever you read the books, they go by like super quick. So yes, thank you, Bobby. As Zach would say, crush the like button.
Crush it.
Crush it. All right. And last but not least, Superior Spider-Man issue number 1 came out, and we got a couple different versions. This is the cover A. I wanted to make sure I had one I could read. I do not like that they put an ad for the Marvels on the top. Like, what the heck? I know, it's like I don't want to remember my number 1 having like, I don't know if you guys hate that as well, but it's kind of like that Columbia bike thing, but this is like worse. I don't know, maybe it is worse. But, and then there's a Scotty Young that came out that looks amazing. As you guys know, if you're unfamiliar with the Superior Spider-Man, back at the end of the original Amazing Spider-Man run, like Doc Ock's gonna die, and like before he dies, he figures out a way to like switch his brain with Peter, so Peter's brain goes into his body as he's dying, and his brain goes into Peter's body, and basically it's a very beloved series where Spider-Man is like kills people and doesn't take any crap, and he's a lot cooler. He's a lot cooler with Doc Ock's brain inside him, and they finishes out during Spider-Verse, where it kind of ends after a while, but now they've brought it back. They did this one shot like a month ago of the book where they were like, hey, we're bringing it back. Here's a one shot. I read it, and it was an old story of when he was in the body from before. So I'm not sure if this is going to be like a new story like in current times, or if they're going to tell an old story of like stuff that happened before when he was in the body.
Okay.
I think that's what they're going to do, but that's what the other one was, because basically he was like really mad that like Peter had done something and he couldn't remember like how he did it or something like that. It was kind of, I don't know. It was good, but
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see. I'm not sure how long the series is going to go on for, but we will find out. Woo! Oh yeah, the ads are fixed points in time of your collection, of your comic collection. That's true. That's true. Just kind of like, don't put it on the cover. I mean, the insides are like littered with it, which is fine, but the cover, like, that's artwork to a lot of people. You don't need like an ad on there. So anyway, let me know if I missed anything that you guys think I should be reading. There's a lot of good like Batman's and Superman books that are coming out. I know I've been ordering a little more of them depending on the covers that I like, but some of those are kind of hard to jump in the middle of those stories. They do give you good points to jump in. I tried to get into the Flash, but I wasn't digging that at all. I don't think it was written that well. Anyway.
Speaking of ads.
Right?
Right.
Is there an ad about to go?
No. Speaking of ads, we went to go see the Marvels. There's like a half an hour worth
let
of
Zach
ads.
tell you his early complaint about the Marvels. So this will be a non-spoiler review first. We'll just tell you how we felt about it, and then we'll give you guys a clear warning that we're gonna like blow some secrets. So, let's see. Flash sucks. Yeah, sometimes I tried to get into it. Zach, what was your complaint at the beginning of the movie, though?
Well, the movie started at 4:35, right? 4:35. It didn't start until like 5:05.
At least, yeah.
And like 80% of that time was ads. Local ads, nationwide ads, all of these freaking ads. And just when you think it's going to stop, there's another ad.
Yeah. It was weird. Like, there's been, we've gone to the movies lately, and there's been commercials. Like, you'll go in and there might be like 3 or 2 or something like that. And you'll get a couple like soda commercials. And you're like, all right, I expect this. But it went on forever. There was over 25 commercials before the movie started. And like Zach was saying, he was thinking maybe because of the writer's strike, there wasn't very many new movies out. Maybe they're loading up with commercials. That makes sense, but I don't know. Maybe that's like the new thing. And I was like, this is crazy. The commercials just kept going.
Just kept going.
I was about losing my mind. And there was no one in the theater but us three. The only one. So Zach was able to like yell at the, hey! Yeah. We were the only three in the entire theater. It wasn't a super big theater, but we live in like a decent sized town and we saw it like at a regular time. So I don't know. That was kind of sad. Hawaii Punch!
The added as, yes.
Anyway, so let's kick it off. Just overall thoughts of the movie, Zach. Just overall thoughts.
Overall, I think it was a mid-tier movie. I think it was a movie that probably could have been just as well done in a mini series on Disney Plus. You know, a couple episodes, maybe 5 or 6, have it well rounded out. It felt more like it was a Disney Plus show than an actual movie. To me, anyways. I don't know how you felt. I thought the character development was at least a solid point to it. I think there was a good character development, something that they could build on later on. You know, it's like, oh yeah, I remember when they did this, and oh yeah, they had this type, and then androids talk to you. Anyways, no, that didn't happen in the movie. But yeah, I think it was a solid movie overall. You know, mid-tier. You know, not the worst movie ever.
What would you compare it to? Other Marvel movies? Better or worse than Thor: Love and Thunder?
Better than Thor: Love and Thunder.
Better or worse than Quantumania?
It's probably about Quantumania.
Quantumania status?
I thought so.
Quantumania level?
Yeah.
Okay.
Better than Thor: Dark World.
That's coming back, dude. That's coming back.
No. That movie was bad.
That's coming back.
That was bad.
So I would say like my review of the movie was just quick review. Going into it, I didn't have that high hopes, so I guess my bar wasn't set super high. So by the end of the movie, I actually pretty much enjoyed it. There's some things I kind of caught right off the bat where like the pacing and editing I thought wasn't very good. I could just kind of tell I'm like, what's going on? Like, why are we just switching from this scene to that scene? But like Zach said, some of the character development was really good, and like the character interactions and Iman Vellani. Miss Marvel killed it. Like I went through, I kind of like checked out a bunch of other reviews to see what people were saying. This pretty much universally, everybody hated this movie except for a few people said it was like pretty much garbage. Except everyone said Miss Marvel everyone that hated it were like, this movie's terrible, but Miss Marvel was amazing. And for me, she pretty much saved the movie. So I overall, like, there's some points in the movie that gave you like this really good feeling, and you're like, okay, like, where it kind of overtook a lot of like the stuff that was kind of cruddy about it. So I'd recommend checking it out. As the movies go on too, I feel like they're much more for like, they're doing more fan service now too than they are for like the greater people. Like there's so many smaller characters that, you ask like a regular person, like, did you watch the Miss Marvel TV show? And they're like, I never watched that. Like, I don't know what that is. But if you ask the regular person, like, did you watch Avengers 1? That's not even a comic fan, they're like, yeah, I watched the first Avengers movie. It was a huge deal, It's things people are like slowly like watching less and less of the content.
Yeah, so, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, very true.
Anyway, so we'll get what's Princess's out of 5 stars. She gives it what? A 3. Okay, 3 stars. So spoiler time. We'll get into some spoiler stuff. Some things. So if you're gonna want to watch the movie and you don't want to be spoiled, probably the good time to check back later after you watch it. But we'll get into some stuff. So overall, like, let's see, like the villain who was Dar-Ben, I thought sucked. It was pretty bad in the movie. I mean, it was like you had to like go back and look it up, like who was Dar-Ben, and so it was like this character from like a Silver Surfer book. There was a male character, they switched to a female, which is fine, but it also like didn't really matter. So sometimes like a movie can be as good as their villain, and they pick like kind of a lame villain. What'd you think on that, Zach?
Well, I think when she fought Carol Danvers, that from how everything's kind of shown, She should have probably tore her head off like first like 5 seconds.
Carol should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the same thing too.
I
I
mean,
was a little confused by people's powers in the movie. That's like, yeah,
yeah, because
Yeah.
Carol is pretty much almost on the same. Well, probably as close, if not maybe I would say on the same level as Thanos without the Infinity Gauntlet,
hmm
and Thanos could like destroy Ronan the Accuser in like 2 moves, and she's obviously prime. Maybe if you give her the best credit, she's probably on the same level as Ronan, the other Accuser. Maybe, but still, it would have been like 1-2 KO. Would have been done even with the Quantum Band on.
hmm
I felt like they could have made her a little bit more well-rounded and like power based, so that you could at least believe the fight was, was gonna take this long. I mean, honestly, with that fight, it should have been like a 20-minute movie.
Yeah.
Should have been a 20-minute movie.
Coco's
So
getting her lick on. Coco's getting the lick on.
yeah, I think that the character had potential, but it was kind of obviously a throwaway character that they want to lead a story on, that they wanted a villain to put in there, so they put the villain in, and they're planning on throwing it away.
Yeah. It obviously should have been Ronan, but they already used Ronan and he's dead now. So it's like they just needed like a female version of Ronan. So yeah, I know. Yeah, they should have figured out a way to bring him back or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
It would have been her like intentions for trying to bring back the planets, like the dead planet Hala. Bring it back was kind of a weird, they're trying to like tug at the heartstrings a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's kind of weird. You're like, which planet am I gonna pick? So yeah, that was strange. The parts I did like though was like when they were training like the powers. They were doing the thing. That montage was really cool. Yeah, I thought the interaction with like Miss Marvel, everything she did was like perfect. The screaming she was doing that stuff, the way she was like interacting with Captain Marvel was amazing, and things. That was like a good time with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was very fun. I like that. That was an enjoyable part. Wait, how did
Warlord, be the one you love. Welcome in, guys.
I don't know.
How did Goose get Prager's? I don't know. Yeah, that was maybe asexual.
Yeah, like it's like automatically makes itself have a kid.
Yeah, and that's the one thing too is like the singing scene was like a little bit cringy, but I was okay with that one. I was like, okay, this kind of makes sense. And like Bree's somewhat of a singer, anyways. I think she sang some songs and what was I saying?
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So that wasn't too bad. The cat thing was like threw me off like a lot. Like I wasn't even sure why the space station was blowing up either. I thought it had to do with the eggs.
Yeah.
Was in there, and then they're like, okay, now we're gonna use the eggs to get off the space station.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and then the cats, who was like, dangerous enough to like scratch someone's eye, that their eye like,
falls out
or goes bad, was like gonna be able to like eat these people and then spit them back out later. I didn't like the cats at all. Thought that was a weird.
It was a very Thor: Love and Thunder kind of feel, where
Yeah.
you're like, oh, Kid Thors and fighting Gore, and then these cats, alien baby cats, that suddenly just had a bunch of babies, and now they have a purpose to save all these people by putting their interdimensional stomachs and then spitting them out. But I did kind of like when the people are running from the cats. It's like, let the cats eat you. And they're like, no. It's like, no. They're trying to hide around corners.
That was cool. I like that. I mean, I like that part where they're like eating them and stuff. But the other thing that I thought was weird right off the bat was like, why of all the people did they not let the cats eat was the family? I mean, it makes sense for like dialogue in the movie, but like you have like trained astronauts or whatever they are, like sword members, and they're like, we're gonna let the family not get eaten so that they can help pilot the ship down while the actual crew members are inside the cats. The real James Willie. So I don't know. That was weird. There were some other parts like the other thing that was really weird is like when we were going to see the movie, Princess is like, did you know it's only an hour and 45 minutes? I'm like, I don't think there's ever been a Marvel movie that's an hour and 45 minutes. So what I had heard is they somebody like watched it and they were like, this movie's like got some real big problems. So they edited the crap out of it and took out a lot of scenes that probably made it make more sense, but they didn't want anyone to like sit through a 2.5-hour movie. And that was like, man, this is even more horrible. But overall, Overall, though, like I said, I mean, even though we're kind of crapping on a little bit, overall I enjoyed it, and at least like I'll give Zach that same thing. Like I thought it was probably on par with Ant-Man Quantumania, like the quality of the movie and stuff like that. But when I was going to see Ant-Man Quantumania, I thought it was going to be like amazing, and so like afterwards I was like, this movie sucked. This movie, everyone was like, it's going to be garbage, and then we went and saw it, and I was like, it's pretty decent. So, it's all depending on like where your level is, but hopefully, like the spoilers at the end, there is a first credit scene where they basically show Kamala like putting together, which could be the Young Avengers or the Champions. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be. Probably the Young Avengers, because they mentioned Ant-Man's daughter as well. She's like, oh, Ant-Man has a kid, so we should put some together. Kate Bishop, the actress for Kate Bishop is really good, and Miss Marvel's really good. So that leads me at least to exciting. Get those like young kids together that got a sparkle in their eye. We can put together something good. And then at the very end, they showed that Monica Rambeau got sucked into that other dimension. And you got to see Beast,
the Fox universe.
Yeah, which a lot of people are complaining about the CGI in Beast. I didn't notice anything weird. I mean, I didn't like study it like while I was watching it. Like, man, the CGI doesn't look good. I was super happy that Kelsey Grammer was voicing Beast again, because I love Kelsey Grammer, and even though he's old and can't probably like put on that suit like he did in the original one, it's good to see him voice the character again.
Oh, absolutely.
I have no idea what road they're going down with that, where that's going to lead to, if that's going to lead directly into the Deadpool one or not. But it was good to see that at the end. Made you happy.
A lot of people are thinking that the next Deadpool movie is going to be Deadpool, Wolverine, and whatever, killing the Marvel Universe.
That's what I would, yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Not sure how Monica's going to be like, in there. Monica was cool. I think she did a good job acting in the role. My only issue with her was like, they didn't like give her, I mean, they were joking about her code name, whether or not, and they didn't finally ever give her a code name, but her powers in the movie were a little bit like confusing, right?
Yeah.
Like they left it up to like, if you know who Monica Rambeau is, then you know what her powers are. But if you're new to Monica Rambeau, then you have no idea. Like she's like, I have light-based powers. I can like
absorb powers.
I can become like invisible or non-corporeal. Yeah, like go through things.
Kind of like Kitty Pryde.
But then like what's like her like strength level for like firing back, or like her durability level. And I was like, and then they showed Kamala use her powers at the end without having the bangle on. So,
because she's a mutant now.
Yeah, but I don't know. Is that what they established, that she didn't need the? They never like made a big deal about like she didn't have the bangle on and she still used her powers.
I thought someone was saying,
"Hey Nathan, how's it going?"
I thought they said in the movie. I could be wrong, but that the bangle activated her mutant gene.
Is that what they're saying?
What? Yeah.
Okay.
She doesn't need the bangle.
Real James Willie says he likes Beast from the '97 X-Men. Yeah, from the cartoon. I like all the voices from the X-Men cartoon, like Rogue, Gambit, Beast, Wolverine. That's how when I read it, I imagine their voices talking for the most part. Even
Nightcrawler. Oh, yes, get a good X-Men.
He's not in the show.
What?
The cartoon?
Yeah, Nightcrawler.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe in a couple episodes. He's not in the team.
Oh, yeah, he's not on the team, but he was in there.
I don't know about that. So, I mean, probably a couple episodes. They show, like, everybody at least one. Miss Marvel's powers upsets me. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird that they use that, like, light-based crystal thing instead of having her, like, stretchy like she should have been.
Yeah, I don't like the crystal thing.
So. But she killed it. Clearly, like, a really good actress, and it was really exciting to, like, kind of her be like the ride-along character where you're like following her, like her excitement. Supposedly she's like a super big comic book fan in real life. She's writing a comic book coming out soon. So it's like she actually reads and collects comics. So it's kind of nice. Somebody really cares about what's going on. So we'll see. I know they're doing some major changes at Marvel coming up soon. A lot of shows are getting canceled or redone. They have to redo Daredevil. There's some other stuff. Who knows when Blade's ever coming out, since they fired everybody and now they're rehiring everybody with that. So it'll be interesting. I'll still watch them all and still be a fan. A lot of people are acting like they're gonna like jump ship. Like, why would you? I don't know. I'm just gonna. I mean, it's still comic related. Some of them aren't as good as they used to be. Some of them are surprises. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was still really good.
I
You
like
know?
how the directors and screenwriters like take like some of the hardest characters to do and just blow it out, just make it amazing. Like the James Gunn did with, like you said, Guardians of the
Yeah.
Galaxy. I wish they did more of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, anything could happen.
Find the obscure characters.
Yeah.
Like Toxic Avenger, which they're doing apparently still.
Oh, Vellani has writing credits on Miss Marvel comic. Oh, sweet. And then Nathan said he took his GF to watch it and she found it mad, but he liked it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Geekpen said, have you seen the Madam Web trailer? Princess saw it and said it looked bad. I have not seen it yet. I'll have to check that one out.
The web was coming out of her butt.
Well, yeah. It did?
No.
No. I was like, it came out of her butt? But the Apocalypse was awesome in the old cartoons. That's how I always imagine Apocalypse sounding too. Not that weird Ivan Ooze one from the movie. That was bad.
That's pretty bad.
That was bad.
I don't know what you're thinking.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where all this leads. But I recommend going to see it. You know, you don't want to see. You know, if the whole MCU loses like too much money, then it may go away altogether, and that would be sad. You know, but you know,
they might just do like once a year, kind of like one big movie.
That would be nicer if it was just one movie a year, a little bit. So,
yeah.
I mean, I do like having them all the time to talk about and like, you know, increase the value of books. But at the same time, like sometimes it gets like overdone. And hopefully the new TV show, the way they're doing it, because like apparently they were like writing like 6-hour long shows that was like one big long movie and then just cut it up into like individual shows, and it didn't really make sense unless you like binge watch the whole thing. Like they should hire. They're apparently going to hire people that actually make TV shows and actually have like pilots for the show and have the shows. Each show have a beginning and an end within the show, so you feel a little more accomplished during each show. So although Loki was really good, was a big standout too. So a lot of people are saying they like Loki. I really like Loki season 2. I needed to like get some thoughts on the last episode before I really enjoyed it more, because both Zach and I were watching it. Maybe we were tired, but I was like, Zach's like, what the heck just happened? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what happened at the end of that show. And then we had to like watch kind of like a thing saying like, that's what happened. I'm like, oh, okay.
It makes sense if you're in the sacred timeline.
Yeah. So, anywho, we've been rambling on for a while. Thank you everybody for coming out to check out our first review of a movie. And hopefully we did a good job explaining without destroying it too much. But as always, we'll be back on this weekend on Whatnot on Saturday, 3 p.m. Adam and Zach first, Princess on at 6. Come hang out with us again. And if you don't make it to them, we will be back on Monday with a brand new drop list. So finally no cons this weekend, so we'll be able to relax a little bit, I think, right? Mm-hmm. A little bit of relaxing. All right, guys. Whew. As always, if you like the show, love the show, hit the subscribe button, like button, notification bell, and leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought about the Marvels. If you liked it, you can always give us like a 1 through 5 rating, or tell us how you felt about the characters. But I thought Miss Marvel really saved the movie for me. So really, there's some really good scenes where it felt pretty emotional. So it kind of helped it out a little bit. Mm-hmm. And Zach, you got anything else?
Yeah, sure. How you do that is you have to travel a little bit. You have to travel this place, that place, places that might not speak your native language. So it really helps if you're bilingual. That's how you get those gains.
That works.
Like, that's how they understand you. You gotta be bilingual. Hey, the movie?
Bilingual?
But I was like, how can he talk to us? I was like, he's bilingual.
Oh, yeah, where he was like singing. That was kind of weird. Okay. I was like, okay, they should just kept singing to make it like, you already stepped in it. You might as well keep walking in it. So like, never mind. This one guy doesn't have to sing the whole time. Yeah, what Nathan was saying, people talk too much about the MCU, but 26 episodes of Star Trek used to be the norm. That's true. And I used to watch a lot of Star Trek, and there's a lot of filler episodes in there. But you enjoyed it because in each episode there was a problem, and then they solved it most of the time by the end of the episode, unless you got the 2-parter Borg episodes, and that was about it.
Yeah, the early 2000s was the end of the 20, 30, 40 episode series. They couldn't do it anymore. Prison Break.
All right, guys. Till we see you next time, stay safe and remember,
get those gains.
Get them.